Everyone, today we will be talking about square roots. We call the square roots in American English, but the surds for if you're studying the British curriculum and we call the surds. We have some challenge questions. I just wanted to share these with you. While you're practicing square roots, you might need to practice a little bit more challenging questions. So we have let's start with this question. We have square root 12 is given on the left yellow box. On the middle one, we have square root of 75 and the square root of 3 on the right top corner. So here is the question. When the process diagram above is carried out with the specified operations from top to bottom, what will be the value of C? So there are some specific operations given between each steps. So in the first, to find the value of C, we will be required to find the value of A and the value of B. So to find the value of A, we will need to do this subtraction. Square root of 12 minus square root of 75. Let's simplify these first. Square root of 12. You all know that if you will just, let me select the other type of pen. 12, if you will just go with 12, sorry about this, it took more time than what I expected. 12, if you don't know what the square root of 12 is equal to, you can just break down this way, and 12 divided by 2 is 6, and 6 divided by 2 is 3, then you will divide 3 by 3, and you will have 1. So which means the square root of 12 is equal to technically 4 times 3. Some of you already guessed at it though. Square root of 4, the 4 will be coming out of the square root as 2 root 3. So instead of square root of 12, we can go ahead and write 2 root 3. 2 root 3. What about square root of 75? Let me do that on this side of the screen. Since I have more space in here, I cannot divide 75 by 2, but I can divide 75 by 3. If we will divide 75 by 3, we'll get 25. And can I divide 25 by 2 or 3? No. In this case, we will jump to 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5. And 5 is divided by 5 is 1. So square root of 75, the factors of 75 are, as we found here, 5 times 5, 25 times 3. 25 times 3. Or you can write 5 to the power of 2 times 3. Then you will just take again 1 of the 5 out. Square root of 25 will coming out of square root as 5 root 3. So instead of square root of 75, we can go ahead and write 5 root 3. The last one is already given as root 3. So they're all like terms right now. So remember, to find A, we were supposed to subtract this 2 root 3 minus 5 root 3. You will end up with negative 3 root 3, because when you're subtracting one positive from one negative, you will take away 2 from 5, which is 3, and you will keep the greatest numbers sign, which is negative here for the negative 5. So we have negative 3 root 3 for A. For B, so you're supposed to find the value of B, you're supposed to add 5 root 3. In this case, this negative sign does not belong to 75. You need to consider this 5 root 3 by itself. 5 root 3 plus root 3 will give you 6 root 3 if you will add them. Now we will do subtraction. Negative 3 root 3 minus 6 root 3. We will take them away. You will have, they have the same sign, so we're doing subtraction in here. They're both same sign. If they have the same sign, you add the numbers. 3 plus 6 is 9. And you keep the sign, common sign. So this will become negative 9 root 3 for the value of C. So we had the choices over here. So choice A will be the answer for this question. I have similar type of really good challenging questions for you. This is the next one. Let's go ahead and read this one as well. Below is a surface composed of identical squares. So it's this symbol is consists of squares. If the area of the painted shape on the surface is 260 square inches, what is the perimeter length of the shape? So this is 206 inches square, the total area of pink shaded area. How many squares there are, I wonder. Let's count the squares first. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So we have 13 squares. 13 squares. Let's say one of the area is, let's call it X. If 13x is given as 260 square inches. So we have to find the value of one of the x, we will divide both sides by 13. And remember, we called it x as the area of the square. So this 13 cancels each other out. So 26 divided by 13 is 2, and you add the 0. So one of the square area is 26 inches squared. Here is the thing where one, and let's find, but you're required to find the perimeter of this shape, which means that you will need to find the one side of the square. So if you have a square like this, and if then the given area is as 20 inches squared, so how do we find the area? Let's say the side is A, the side is A times A is A squared. So A squared is 20. To find the value of A, we will take a square root of each sides. Then A will become square root of 20. 4 times 5. If you are having still difficulty of determining that, you can do the same thing in the previous questions that what we did. Divide by 2, 10, divide by 2, 5. 5 is divided by 5 is 1. So that technically this is 4 times 5. And again, I can write that as square root of 20. And this time I want to write it with the exponents. 2 to the power of 2 times 5. And this 2 comes out as positive 2 root 5. So one side is 2 root 5. So how many sides do we have on this shape? Let's continue and let's count them. Gonna use a green color for that. So in this shape we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of writing them down, I will just check them like this: 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. We have 28 sides. So we found one of the value to A was 2 root 5. Sorry about that. It's 2 root 5. So we will just multiply that 2 root 5 times by 28. That gives you 56 root 5. So that the right choice for this problem is B. Let's continue with the next question. Again, these are really good square root problems you might really like. So again, let's start reading this question. The short side length of the blue rectangle below is half of the length of the long side. So the short side is half of the longer one. And one side is given as square root of square root of 24. Okay. The 13 of these rectangles are placed without any gaps or overlapping, vertically and horizontally along the line segment AB. In this case, what is the length of the line segment AB in centimeters? For this one, so we have here two angles, I mean the two sides to work on. One side is square root of 24. Let's simplify that again. 24, how can I write 24? And square roots. When you divide by 2, you get 12. You divide that by 2, you get 6. You will divide 6 by 2, you get 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So this is going to be, as you can see, we have two 2's, they will come out as 1, 2, but the 2 times 3 will be inside of the square root. So square root of 24 is 2 root 6, because you multiply this 2 and 3, they stayed inside of the square root. So this is 2 root 6 is the longer side. This is 2 root 6. And in this problem, they mentioned that the short side length of the blue rectangle is half of the long side. And so then 2 square root of 6 divided by 2 is just square root of 6. So in this question, they mentioned that, imagine, there will be 13 of these rectangles, 13. So imagine this. Let me try to, so how is that gonna work out? There will be another rectangle coming in here, like this, and there will be another rectangle. That's gonna be vertical, but this one will be horizontal. So imagine it, these two for the one set, so which means one vertical and one horizontal. Total the length we have is, when you add root 6 plus 2 root 6, you have 3 root 6, right? For this, the second pair, you will have the same length, 3 root 6. So for every two rectangle sets, we have 3 root 6. So this is gonna keep going like this. But when you divide 13 by 2, you know that this is gonna be 6 and 6 1/2. So there will be 6 times that we will have 3 root 6. So if you will multiply 6 times 3 root 6, you will have 18 root 6. Is that the answer? Can I just go ahead and select the choice A? No, A is not the answer, because this 0.1 means, since the rectangles are going this way, in this pattern, in the very last, the 13th rectangle will be vertical rectangle. If that's the vertical one, then it's going to provide us another root 6. So far we had it root 6, remember, here 2 root 6, all of these sets, so it was for 18 root 6, but in the last one we have also another one. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 root 6 to this, which will gives us 19 root 6 for the line segment AB in centimeters. So let's move on to the next question. And this is the last question in this video. And so let me, sorry about that. This is kind of like mixed up, but it's all right. So here we have another question. In this case, let's read the question. We have figure 1 and figure 2. The surface area of the orange cube in figure 1 is 54 square centimeters. So the surface area is 54. If 3 of these orange cubes and 1 blue cube are stacked on top of each other, and the height is root 726 centimeters. What is the volume of the blue cube in centimeters? For this problem, this is a different style of question when you look at it. So it's a really an interesting question. So they're saying that the surface area of so just one thing I need to fix. The surface area of orange cube in figure 1, in the problem they said one surface. In the original problem, it says one surface area of the orange cube is 54 square centimeters. I need to correct that. Not the whole surface area of the cube we're talking about. If 3 of these orange cubes are, again, and when you just put them, we'll stack them on top of each other and add another blue cube, and we have this root 726 centimeters. So how do we find one surface area of a cube? So let's say this side is A, and let me use different types. Let's say it is A, and let's say this side is also A. And if you will just, to find the surface area, you will just multiply A times A, which is A squared. A squared is given as 54 square centimeters. So to find the value of A, we will go ahead and take square root of both sides and the A. What is square root of 54? Let's do that again here, the way we have been doing. Divide by 2, 54. If you will divide by 2, you will get 27. I cannot divide 27 by 2, but I can divide by 3. When I divide that by 3, I get 9. I will divide 9 by 3. You get 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So over here, we have 3 3s and 1 2. These 3s will coming out of the square roots. So square root of 54 will be equal to, as 3 root, and 2 and 3 stays inside the square root of square root. So when you multiply them, it's 3 root 6. So one side is 3 root 6. Let me see if I, yes. So in here, we have 3 root 6 is the length of this side. So we stacked, these 3 orange cubes on top of each other and the 1 blue on top. What about the square root of 726 that is equal to? We need to determine that as well. So let's go ahead and do that over here. If I have space in here, let's do that over here. 726 and we will just divide it by 726 by 2. Here is the thing, when you, if you will just, this kind of question, let me also talk about this. This is kind of like hint for you, the root 6. That means that the 726 will be something related to root 6. I'm sure. So if you can go ahead and divide 726 by 6 to find what the value is. I will show you what I mean after doing this. So 726 divided by 2 will give you 363. So you will divide 360 by 3. You will have 121. Can I divide 121 with 3 to 5? No, you all know that it's a multiple of 11. So you will divide by 11. If you will divide 120 by 11, you will get 11. And that will be divided by 11. Then you have 1. So technically, this is going to be square root of 726 is equal to 11 root 6, because we have two 11s here. And 2 and 3 stays inside the square root. So 11 root 6. Instead of this, we can say 11 root 6. Remember, I was talking about this hint thing. So it's root 726 and 6. If you will go ahead and divide 726 by 6, this is the hint for you. And this is going to, give you an idea. So what you can do, you will have, some idea about how to proceed. This is a shortcut. This is once, 6, and you bring this down. We have 2, 12, and you bring this up. 121. So 121 is the 11 squared. So you can say this is gonna be then 11, root 6 right away, rather than doing this step. Again, we have talked about that. And so we have 3 root 6 here, 3 root 6 here. These are identical cubes. 3 root 6. Total we have 9 root 6. But the whole height was given as 11 root 6. So I'm going to take away 11 root 6. I'm going to take away 9 root 6 from 11 root 6, which gives you 2 root 6. So what is this 2 root 6? This 2 root 6 is the side, one of the side length of this blue cube, 2 root 6. What you've been asked to find the volume of the blue cube, and we know that the volume formula of a cube is a times a times a, which is a cube. So we found 2 root 6, and we will take cube of that. 2 to the cube is, you can just split and just take the roots like this. 2 to the root is 8. Root 6, if you will multiply root 6 by itself 3 times, root 6 times root 6 is 6, and root 6, one of the root 6 stays inside. So 8 times 6, you will have 48 root 6 for this problem. I hope you like these square root challenge questions. These are really nice ones. I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you for watching, and I wish you good luck with your all tests. Hope to see you around. Have a good one.